Several minutes ago I said there were two reasons. I've covered one, the very self-evident. That's an ability of the city's ability to proclaim itself, and that's what good urban design is about. The second reason requires deeper reflection and a little bit deeper gaze. The answer to me is that good urban design promotes a good, strong downtown. Well, so what? What does it mean to have a good, strong downtown? Is it more important to have a good, strong downtown than to have a good, strong suburb? I don't want to step on toes here because many of us live in suburbs, but I think the answer to that is a very powerful yes. It is important to have a strong downtown. Why? What's important about a strong downtown? If you look back at Lyndhurst over the last 25 years, you will see several major themes reflected in the grant making of the foundation. We've invested heavily in public education. We've invested heavily in Chattanooga's arts and cultural organizations. We've invested heavily in environmental and land conservation causes. We've invested heavily in downtown neighborhoods. And we've invested very heavily in downtown revitalization through the work of the River City Company. Why did we do that? Well, if you take a balloon up to 10,000 feet and look down and try to connect those themes, I think you will begin to see some of what has connected them inside of Lyndhurst, probably again subconsciously to all of us. Consider just for a moment what it means when you have a strong downtown where a community lives, works, and plays. Well, here are just a couple of things that it means. It means less urban sprawl. It means less automobile travel. It means less consumption of energy. It means less time, particularly for parents, to spend in their cars driving from school to shop to work to ball field to church, back to ball field, back to school. Those things don't happen when you live, work, and play close to the heart of downtown. It means less conversion of suburban and rural land from agricultural, open space, and wildlife habitat. Very, very importantly, it means improved social interactions for all walks of life. Just think for a minute of the few hours that you spend at Coolidge Park, or bicycling on the Riverwalk, or taking a leisurely stroll across the Walnut Street Bridge. Usually the mix of folks that you see and the sounds that you hear in those environments is a lot more interesting than you're likely to run into at home in your neighborhood. Strong downtowns also mean reduced cost of governmental services. Nobody ever talks about this very much, but it's a whole lot less expensive to provide roads and sewers and schools and fire and police protection and recreational amenities to a strong downtown core than it is to far-flung subdivisions. When you realize the mathematical truth that as the radius of a city expands, it expands geometrically, you realize what I'm talking about. A city with a 1 mile radius covers 2.14 square miles. A city with a 2 square mile radius covers 4 times that much. So a strong downtown urban core is just a more efficient place to live. There are probably a dozen other examples. Improved public education. Lyndhurst and many others invested very strongly in the Battle Academy and the Brown Academy, and think what that has meant to people who lived downtown and to people who have moved downtown. The initial advent of the CSAS and then later Normal Park, all of these downtown schools, that was unthinkable 20 years ago. And think what that has meant for our community's support for public education and our benefit from public education. There are probably many other examples of how a strong urban core benefits every component of our community and has informed so much of Lyndhurst's work over the last 25 years. I'd be giving Lyndhurst too much credit if I said that we had figured that out 25 years ago. We certainly did not. I know I did not, and I've learned a great deal listening to people, watching the work that you guys do, and living and working and playing in my hometown. And I think that's my final point, that I know that I will know a whole lot more about good urban design and good urban planning when tonight is over than I did when I woke up this morning. Good urban design and good urban planning is a lot like evolution. You always have to continue moving onward. You've got to commit yourself in your city to doing the best you can do, because the world never stops and you can't ever fall behind. Well, that's enough for me. Y'all didn't come to hear me, although you now have. And I have the privilege now of introducing Alex Krieger. I thought this would be easy, and I knew that his resume, when sent to me, would probably be about 8 pages long, and I could cull it down to his most significant accomplishments. But extraordinarily, when I got the resume from Kim by email, it mentions almost nothing of Alex's life, his work, his accomplishments, his awards. The few facts that I can glean from it are that he attended Cornell University, where he got, let me find it, he obtained his Bachelor of Architecture at Cornell, then his Master of City Planning and Urban Design at Harvard, and then he began teaching at Harvard in the exact same year that I started in law school. I think what that means is that Alex is a few years older than I, and I know that it means he was a lot smarter than I then, and he's still a lot smarter than I am today. Other than that, the facts on his resume are few and far between. For our purposes here tonight, the ones that jump out to me is that he served as the director of the National Endowment of the Arts Mayor's Institute in City Design from 1994 to 1999. He is the founder and the co-director of the Large City Planners Institute from 1999 through the present. He is the vice president of the New England Holocaust Museum from 1989 through 2000. He is also a member of the Joseph Riley Institute, the mayor of Charleston, from 2000 through the present. These are things that tell me he knows what he's doing and that he has a lot to offer to us. But again, they're not the kind of hard facts that you expect to jump off of a resume. So I looked at it again and tried to see what I was missing, and I realized I missed the most important thing, which is in the very first sentence. It's a very simple sentence. Alex has combined a career of teaching and practice, dedicating himself in both to understanding how to improve the quality of place and the quality of life in our major urban areas. And I think that says it all. Alex, thank you.